Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Against All Odds. I'm your host, Iris Palmer, and today we have a very special guest who has literally defined all expectations, has broken barriers. She is a best-selling author and formal radio TV personality, Patty Rodriguez.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here. I feel like you wear so many hats, and like I'm sure I missed some of your titles because you just do so much.
I feel the same about you, which
really?
is, I think it's amazing though, because that means that we're hustlers.
Yeah,
That's
are
what
hustlers.
we do.
But
Yeah.
I am so excited to have you here and to like jump into your story. Before we get like directly into your journey, because I want to know everything, I like to start off by a little icebreaker. So I'm really big in astrology. And I read you're a Scorpio.
I am.
I love Scorpio. I'm a Taurus. So
We're the
Scorpios
best.
and Tauruses are like
Yes.
such a good match. And I normally start by just telling you some of your traits. I'm sure you are very familiar with your traits. Are you into astrology?
I am.
Okay. So one of my managers and like best friends is a Scorpio. And I feel like she is like the one that pushes me to do stuff, because Tauruses are very like in their comfort zone. Scorpios are more like out there. They're more creative. They're super loyal. They're very intuitive. They are hard workers. They are all about writing for their people. Like I feel like
we are ride or dies.
They are ride or
We
dies.
really are. And it's good, but also can, really, it can kick us in the butt sometimes for being that loyal. But we are like, when we love you hard. Mm-hmm. But then when we write you off, Like it's done, it's over.
Yeah. What do you know what your rising is?
I don't.
Oh, know your moon.
I don't know my moon. I just know that I'm a Scorpio. I don't want to be anything else.
Yeah, I love Scorpios. That's you're right where you need to be. Okay, before we get straight into your story, I know that you come from immigrant parents as well.
Yes.
You are ride or die for the community and the culture. You've put on so much for our people, and I think you are really loved and respected in the community, especially the Latino community. So thank you for everything that you've done. I read a little bit about your story. So your parents came from Mexico.
Yeah, so they came, my dad and my mom in the late 70s made the trek here to the United States. And I think the plan for them was just to come here for a few years, make some money, and go back. And back then, that was like the thing to do, especially for men from Mexico. And during that time, immigration started getting more enforced. Mm-hmm. And my parents are like, we have to just go back to Mexico. We can't stay here anymore. Like, let's just, the plan was never to stay here. Mm-hmm. Let's go buy a house in Mexico. My mom was like, I'll start a business. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
And I was a toddler, and that was the plan. Mm-hmm. And then I got sick in Mexico.
And then you guys came back.
And we had to come back. Mm-hmm. And when we came back...
What did you get sick with?
I don't know. My mom says, you were just throwing up. I had no idea what you were, what you had. And the doctors told my mom, there's nothing we can do here. You need to send her back to good doctors. That's what essentially they told her. Mm-hmm. And she's like, we have to go. And that's one of my earliest memories, crossing the border back over here.
So you do remember crossing
I remember
the border.
that. I remember that.
And how old were you?
I was maybe like 2 or 3.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because, my brother and my sister also crossed the border from El Salvador, and my brother was about 2 or 3. My sister, I think, was like 1. So she has like really no memory, but like my brother does remember. Like, and my mom came first, and she couldn't afford to bring them all at the same time. So my mom waited like a month, saved money, and then brought my brother with like strangers. So he's like, I remember, like
it's such a very traumatic experience that you carry it with you.
Like, I can't imagine like bringing my babies a month later with strangers to trust them to bring them across the border, and like,
yeah, but that just shows the sacrifices our parents had to do to find a better way to live, and you can't fault them, because now I look back, and my mom was going to do that with me and my brother. She was going to hand us to a stranger to cross us over, because we had our birth certificates. Yeah. But then last minute she changed her mind, like something inside her told her, no, just bring the kids with you. And we did. But I'm like, I can't fault her for that. I think, they're so young and
Yeah.
they're just thinking like we have to cross.
Yeah. And just like the not knowing,
The
just
not
trying
knowing,
to give your kids a better life it's such a real thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you guys come here. You're basically a LA native, right? Because
Born and raised.
Yeah, born and raised, and you grew up in like Lynwood.
Yeah. So from coming back from Mexico, we moved to like an apartment with like 10 of my family members, like in a 1-room house.
Same story. It was like 8 of us in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Sleeping on the floor.
We had 3 little beds in one. I'm in one freaking room.
Yeah.
I'm like,
no, let me tell you,
crazy.
it was so gnarly where we lived that a cucaracha got in my ear, and I remember that moment in my life too. Like one of my earliest memories.
The cucarachas were like our homegirls, okay?
Yes.
This is so crazy because for a long time, like growing up, I was like embarrassed. Like I remember like my friends would come over and I would turn off the lights so like they wouldn't see the cucarachas and stuff. Like I was so embarrassed. Like this is like I'm like middle school and like it's like I
you don't want to show
want
that.
people to come over to the house, and then when they would come I'd be like, let's just keep the lights off, and now it's so funny. Like I feel like now as I'm like just more secure in who I am, and I'm very confident, I'm like so open about how I grew up, and I'm like,
Same.
you know what, this is how I grew up.
Same.
My mom used to make arroz con leche, and I'll never forget. She had like, there was like the little baby cucaracha. And I'd be like, Mom, there's a cucaracha. And she's like, it's okay. And she would just like get it out. And now that I think back, I'm like, that was my life.
That was our lives growing up. Yeah.
Freaking crazy is that?
I remember having like the cucaracha, the poison, like in every corner of the rooms.
Yes.
It was a thing. But I was embarrassed too. And now I look back, I'm like, you know what? It's just part of the journey.
Yeah.
And it makes you appreciate everything else you have. And also,
those were the homegirls.
They were the homegirls. And then makes you want to continue pushing harder for your community and inspiring them that this is just temporary.
Yeah.
And there's always a way to just move forward,
Yeah. I look at my kids now, I'm like, they don't know.
They have no idea.
They have no idea. No. Okay, so I mentioned you were a former TV personality. You're still involved, right? With you started with Ryan Roses.
I did.
No, Ryan Seacrest.
I started working with Ryan Seacrest. I worked with him on the show here in LA
for
almost
decades.
20 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you started doing that as an intern.
I was an intern when I was 16. I was a senior in high school.
Okay.
When I drove myself to.
What made you want to be an intern for a radio?
So I mean, growing up, I always loved the entertainment industry. Mm-hmm. There was something about it that just drew me. Like I felt like I was reading my diaries. Like I read them and like I would write like, this is what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna work in the entertainment industry, and I can't wait to get out of Lynwood. Like I would like always like write this down.
That you
like
still have that.
I have those journals.
Wow.
And I was always drawn. I don't know if like what it was, but it would make me feel something. Music would make me feel something. Mm-hmm. The art of acting, theater, mm-hmm. film. Like I always felt something in that art of storytelling. Books would make me feel something. But mm-hmm. I'm like, whatever I have to do, it's gonna be within that ecosystem. Mm-hmm. And I was obsessed with NSYNC. Me and my girlfriends in high school, that was like our band. That NSYNC, was our like
Backstreet Boys.
Like that was like the thing. Britney Spears,
yes, Christina Aguilera,
Ricky Martin, Living La Vida Loca. Yes. That was our life.
Yes.
So they were giving away tickets to a show, and I told my girlfriends, I'm like, why don't we just show up to the radio station and let's go. And my mom had a car. She's a single mom. And I went to my mom and I said, Mom, I knew she wasn't going to lend me the car if I told her that I'm going to go ditch to get tickets.
Yeah.
So I told her, Mom, I have cereal, period. I need to take your car so I don't have to drive. I don't have to walk to school when it's still dark out. Mm-hmm. And my mom, God, I love her. She's like, okay, that's okay. I'll take the bus to work. So I lie to her. I get the car, I pick up my girlfriends, and we drive to Burbank, which is like a 30, 45-minute drive in traffic from Lynwood. Mm-hmm. And we get there, we park, we have no idea what's going on, what we're going to do. We're asking around, like, where's the, Kiss FM floor? Mm-hmm. And we get there, and there's a receptionist at the desk. And we're like these 16-year-old girls from high school, and we're like, we're here to see Rick Dees. This was before Ryan Seacrest.
You guys were determined.
And the receptionist could have just told us to go back home. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, like, she didn't. And she
She's like,
said,
come on.
she said, you know what? Let me make a call and let's see what we can do. She calls the producer from the studio, and then a few minutes later he comes out and he's like, what are you girls doing here? We're like, we drove from Lynwood. We want to see Rick Dees because we want to ask him for tickets to NSYNC. And then he's like, well, come out, come to the studio. He walks us to the studio, and then he sits us in front of the mics, and we're like, what the heck is happening? We're live on the air with Rick Dees.
Oh my God.
And he's like asking us questions like,
it was destined for you to be on the radio.
Yes.
That is crazy.
And he's like, and we're like, we ditched school, and like we're just calling everyone out at school, like our teachers and the security guards, and we're telling them that we have metal detectors because, you know, we're in the hood, like all these, like we're just calling it out. We win the tickets, and the producer escorts us back out to the lobby. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, it's now or never. I don't know what happened inside me. Mm-hmm. And I just like blurted it out. Are you hiring? And he's like, well, how old are you again? I'm like, I'm 16. And he's like, no, you're too young. You have to be at least 18 and maybe we can give you an internship. And then he's like, well, give me your number. I'm thinking this fool wants my number, mm-hmm. you know, but I'm going to give it to him. And this is like before cell phones. This is you only had a landline. Mm-hmm. And
back in the days.
Yeah, back in the day. And the great days.
Yeah, I know. Our kids will never know.
They will never
about
know.
That.
So I get a call 2 weeks later, and it's him. He leaves me a message on the answering machine because back then we had answering machines.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I'm calling because, you know, we're going to go on vacation. The show is. And I was wondering if you would be interested in coming out and helping answering phones here while we're on vacation. And I'm like, he's not like, there's no way.
This is for real.
Like, this is for real. Like, he did it. He wanted to help me.
Yeah.
And I call him back and I said, yes. Not even thinking how I'm going to get over there because I'm like, oh my God, I have to lie to my mom again. I need her car. So for like 2 weeks.
So, you know, that's one lie always turns into a bigger lie. It's a ripple effect.
And I made it work. I like ditched school for a few weeks to go and help out like up there at the station. And then that led like me meeting people there. My, you know, Ruben is the producer. He helped me, and I got an internship, and then one thing led to another, and I ended up on Ryan's show for 20 years.
But wait, they asked you to help answer phones for Ryan's because you were bilingual, right?
Well, yeah. At that time, so that was with Rick Dees.
Oh, okay.
And then I was interning, and I was driving I don't know if you've ever seen the promotion van, so like the radio station, Power 106, Kiss FM.
Yeah. So you were
I was driving those around the city, like doing events.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have the coolest job. Yeah. I was thinking like, I'm just like,
you're like, this is
freaking cool.
I'm getting paid to drive.
I'm getting paid to drive. I'm like in the greatest radio station on earth. Like, I get to meet all these people. And then Ryan gets hired to do the morning show. And I was sitting on my cubicle on my desk, and I overhear, like, again, the stars aligned. Like,
yeah.
God,
what's meant for you will always be for you.
And like,
yes.
I eavesdrop on a conversation between his executive producer and my boss. Uh-huh. And I overhear the producer telling my boss, do you happen to know anyone that's bilingual that can help us answer phones?
You were like...
And my body starts shaking. I'm like, this is my moment. I've never done this before. I'm so scared.
Yeah.
Like, my body just froze listening to this. Like, there's no way this is happening to me right now. And I'm trying to like figure out a way how to approach my boss. Uh-huh. When he comes to me and he's like, Patty, do you speak Spanish? I'm like, I am fully bilingual. And he's like, well, you know, Ryan's looking for someone to help. Would you be interested? Even before he finishes the sentence, I'm like, yes. And he's like, but you have to come in at 4 a.m. and then you have to come to the office after. I'm like, yes. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do whatever, you know? And like, that was always a thing. Like, I'm going to do whatever.
Yeah. That's also something that I feel like is just in our community and like in our blood. It's like, we are down to work and we're not scared of like the 4 a.m. We're gonna get the work done. It's like in our blood.
It is. Like, I'm not questioning like, oh, let me think about it. No, like, I'm just like, yes. I'll figure it out later. Yeah. And it was supposed to be temporary, working with Ryan, just until they found a producer to come in and take the role. But then again, while I was there, I was like, I have to find a way talk to the boss and say, I can do this full time.
Were you the only Latina there?
At that time, there was another one, Crystal. She was there, but and I think, you know, they were understanding the value of our voices on the show, and they were trying to build, you know, our community and who we are around, you know, what Ryan was trying to do there. And it became really important to him. He understood from day one
the culture and your voice, and like
that you can't do a show in LA without understanding who we are, appreciating our history and our culture.
And I think also too, like, we are a big part of LA that I feel like
we're the majority.
Yeah, we're the majority, but I feel like a lot of companies that lack that culture or like our voice are lacking in so many departments. Like, they're not listening to like what's really happening, you know. So I think the fact that he was aware of like our voice, our community, like, and how, and the power of having you there, of having like some Latinas there, like, means a lot.
No, absolutely. And it just became an incredible dream job for 20 years. And I did things that I never imagined in a billion years, working on the #1 show in the world.
Yeah.
And
do you still have any ties to them?
I do. They're like family to me. You know, they've seen me grow up from a little girl to becoming a mother to like a business owner.
Yeah.
You know, when I had to make the call to Ryan to say, you know, like, my time is up here, he's like, I've been waiting for this call. Like, I already knew it. He's like, I knew it. Like, and it was the hardest decision I ever had to make because it's a dream job. But I knew I had to do it to continue evolving and growing as not just a businesswoman, but as, you know, a member of my community and a mother too.
This really caught my eye. So I read a little bit about the Mac and Selena collection and collab, and the reason why that collection happened was because of you.
Well, because I think the entire community.
Well, I feel like you started it, right? You like sent them an email, and then you did a petition where you had like 40,000 people sign this petition.
Yeah. So many years ago, I emailed the CEO of MAC Cosmetics when the Marilyn Monroe collection came out.
Okay.
I was obsessed with that collection.
Okay.
And when it came out,
I wanted to know your thoughts of like, did you just wake up and you were like, wait, we need a Selena Quintanilla collection with MAC Cosmetics? You know, like, how did that come about? Like, your thoughts? So
when the Marilyn collection came out, I was inspired by that collection, and I said, if they can do a collection on some, like, an icon like Marilyn Monroe, who's no longer with us, and she's still very much iconic. The reality is that Selena Quintanilla is America. She stands for who the American woman is. Yeah. So they should definitely have something to honor her. Yeah. So I emailed the CEO, and for some reason they replied back, and they're like, "This is a great idea. We'll keep it in mind." And I was like, "Oh, I did my job." You know, like, that was that. And then a few years later, I come across a superimposed image of a MAC lipstick with the image of Selena Quintanilla and her signature. And it turns out it was created by a makeup artist by the name of Jose. He created it too. So I'm like, I'm not the only one that thinks that this is a good idea. Yeah. So I sent the link to the MAC people again. And I said,
You're
hey,
like, hi, remember me?
It's me again. I just wanted to share this with this beautiful image that was created by this makeup artist. You should really consider doing this. Yeah. And then I was like, you know what? They're not going to listen to me like this. I have to start a petition. I don't know what came of me. I don't even know how it happened. But
I'm in like awe of you right now.
It was the night.
Wow.
It was the night before my son's birthday party. And I drafted the petition with Jose's image that he had created. And I said, we all want this. And I posted it on my Instagram, and it got like 20,000 signatures like in 24 hours. Wow. And I sent the link to them, and I said, look, it's not just me anymore. It's Jose, and it's all of us here. And
It's all
then
her
it
fans,
just
it's
spread
everybody.
like wildfire. Like everyone picked it up. We had people showing up to their offices in New York City, like asking, like sharing like Selena images and posters. And I get a call from the company, and they're like, you know, what you're doing, I don't think you understand how it works over here. We can't just create a collection out of thin air. Like they were like trying to like kind of like tell me to like stop.
Yeah.
And like, and we don't even know if the family's okay. Like they're like, I don't think you understand how it works over here. We need the family's permission. And they're like, oh, you need their permission? Okay, hold on. So I turned around and I Googled Selena Quintanilla's headquarters in Texas. So I can call the sister, her sister, Suzette.
Suzette.
And I called Suzette and I was like, you don't know who I am. I'm so sorry. Maybe I'm just like crossing the line here.
Yeah.
But I started this petition. Now it's reached over like thousands of signatures. I just got off the phone with Mac and they essentially told me that the only thing that's stopping them is that they don't have permission from the family. Can I connect you with them? And Suzette was like, she's like, doesn't even know what's going on. I sound like a crazy.
No, this is good for you.
Like I sound so crazy. Like I'm not, you know, I have no skin in this. Like I'm not, you know, like now looking back, this was just the love that I have for her, and understanding the love that we all have for her.
That too, but I think it speaks volumes on your character and just like how passionate you are about our community. How like you're like, wait, Marilyn Monroe got a collection? Selena needs a collection too, you know? And it's like, it's people like you that like make the biggest difference for our community. So thank you. Cause that was, wow. Like, I'm like my mouth is like, when I read about it, I was like, wait, what? I was like, and I kept reading and I was like, oh my God, you got like 40,000 people to sign this petition. And I was just like in all of you, because I'm like,
it was like in a few days.
Yeah, that's
but that just
crazy.
showed like, I think to me that moment in history, it showed the power, the power that we have, what our dollars mean to us, and how we can use that to begin, you know, I think it opened the eyes of brands. That moment in history really helped brands understand our power.
Yeah.
That to this day is the highest makeup collection like ever sold in the history of makeup, right? I don't think anything has topped it yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I have a lot of questions and you can stop me at any time. But so you connect Suzette and Mac.
Yes.
I want to know like the business behind it. Then do you step back or were you still involved in the process of the business?
No, I'm not involved in any.
Oh, so you just let them do the deal and
yeah,
they just
I have no idea what's happening.
The logistics they take care of.
And I find out that it's happening just as everyone finds out with a social media post on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it happened. And that was it. I had nothing, and like there was no conversation with me. Yeah. And it was never like about me getting involved. It was just we all want this.
Yeah.
And that was it. And like I think it became more special because everyone was like just everyone who signed it, everyone who was cheering for it.
That's such a big victory.
Like we all worked together to make this. It wasn't just one person. It wasn't just me. I think that's what made it so special, that it was like the community asked for it, and the community made its voice heard, and MAC Cosmetics listened. Yeah. And that's the power behind that.
Yeah. Wow, what a victory. Speaking of victories, another success of yours is your bilingual books, Lil Libros, that you actually sent me. I don't know if you remember.
I do remember. And
you
I remember
sent me like a Salvadorian book. It was a Selena book. It was, I remember like Ayla was like probably like 2 at the time, 2 or 3.
And you did a video for us during the pandemic. It was so sweet.
Yes, it was around 2020. Yes, but you know what? Like even I want to get into like why you started the books and like everything about like the books. And you know, I read that they made over $1 million in sales, right?
We've sold over 3 million books.
Wow, that's insane. But I wanted to say like how important it is, like even now that you're like writing books and like teaching our kids and like just giving us a place like even for our kids to start, you know, like knowing who Selena is, like knowing what El Salvador is. Like I think it's just so important, and books that can make our kids feel like we all have a place in this world.
No, absolutely. And not just, not just a place in this world, but to empower our children to find the love of reading, and also helping our community, our parents in our community understand how critical and important it is for our children to read at the earliest age. Like, we look at numbers where our kids in our community are graduating high school reading at a 4th grade level. Like, that is like heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is.
And a lot of that has to do because we're not placing value in reading.
In reading, yeah.
And we're so my thought process and the way I was thinking is, when I became pregnant with my son, who's now 15, I was like, I love books. I love storytelling. There's something beautiful about illustrations. Like, they make me feel something, and like, always.
It's crazy. Like, even you saying like teaching our kids to read, because like even in our community, like I really didn't read a book until I was like, high school, like school stuff, like you have to, but like me just picking up a book because I wanted to didn't happen until like me being an adult. And that was like me, and the books that I gravitated to were like more self-help books.
Which there's nothing wrong with that, because you're still reading.
Yeah, no, but that was like my first completion of a book that I was excited to read. Like, I read the Let Them Theory book. Have you read that? The Green Book?
What's from
Mel Robbins?
Yes.
Yeah. So those are the kind of books that I found like interesting for me, but just like bringing it back to like, we weren't taught to read. We weren't taught to like enjoy a book. Like, now with my kids, I force them. Even when we go on vacation, they all pick up a book and they have to take it. And
but I'll tell you why. Because our parents were on survival mode.
Yes.
They, like, we can blame them.
Yes.
Because they're not thinking about, let's sit down and read a book. There's no time for that. We're surviving.
Yes.
We're barely
figuring it out.
We're barely making it.
Yes.
So I feel blessed, because even my mom always found a way to have books around the house. And maybe even if she didn't, but I was obsessed. I would go to the library and I would get like 8 books at a time, because books to me were my way to get out of the environment that I was in, out of the cockroaches, out of the one-room apartment. Like, to me, that was my escape. We weren't going on vacations, like that wasn't part of us. We're on survival mode, and reading to me was my escape and my way to just keep dreaming.
Yeah.
And pregnant with my son, I'm looking at building a library for him. I'm like, I want him to have a beautiful library with all the most beautiful books, but I also want him to have books about who we are, and our culture and our traditions. I'm like, let me search for them. Didn't find them. All I found were books, translations from the classics, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, Where the Wild Things Are. Yeah. And I was like, somebody should create these books. And I was like, well, why can't it be me? So I started writing to publishers across the country, thinking I have the best idea. Like, there's no way they're going to say no. And then I work for like Ryan Seacrest. I work for the #1 show in the world. Like, it makes sense, like, marketing wise. Yeah. Totally. Well, they all said no.
Stop.
Yeah. And one of them in particular was like, this idea is all over the place. It doesn't make any sense. And I was like, you know what? Maybe they're right. I believed it.
Dang.
I believed it. I put my manuscript in the drawer and I closed it. And I was like, maybe they're right. Like, who do I think I am?
Yeah.
To think that I'm an author, to think that I can create these books. And 3 years later, Alexander's 3 years old, my son, we lose my house to a fire.
Oh, no.
Now I look back, it was the best thing that ever happened to us. But at that moment, it didn't feel like that.
Yeah.
We lost everything. I'm a single mom. And that day when we lost that house, I was like negative $38 in the bank.
Oh, no.
I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
Of like myself. I'm like, to top it all, I lost my house.
Yeah.
Like, to top it all, I'm like, what am I going to do? And I really went into a very dark period. And like, I was hating myself. I'm like, you should be embarrassed of yourself, Patty. Like, I was so hard on myself during that period. And then I was looking at my son, and I was like, if I would have been in that fire, and if I would have died today, I would have left my son and my family with nothing.
Yeah.
With credit card debt. I'm like, this is not why my parents came to this country. Like, there's no way my story ends like this. So I thought about the books, and I was like, this has to get done. Like, if anything, it'll just be one book, you know, and I'm giving something to the world. I have to change my story. And I started reaching out to publishers again, and they told me the same thing. They were like, Latinos don't buy books.
Wow. Latinos don't buy books.
They don't buy books for their kids. And I was like, well, that's a lie, because I'm looking for those books. So I called my best friend. We've been friends since we were in middle school. And she had just had a baby too. And I tell her, I'm like, I've been working on this idea for a while. It needs to get done. And if we don't do it, it's just not going to get done. And she's like, I'm in. Let's do it. And we got to work. Like, it just, like, now looking back, it just feels like I was like in the zone.
So how did you fund that?
So the insurance
From the house?
From the house. You have to rebuild the house.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just take the money and walk away and call it a day. When you have a mortgage, you have to rebuild it. So we rebuilt the house. But there's also the insurance clause when my insurance, where they give you they pay you back for your personal belongings.
Yes.
What you lost, your clothes, your bed.
Yeah.
You know, so you list all that, and then, you know, they kind of give you what they think it's the value of this, right? And I looked at that check, and I said to myself, I could buy a bed. I could buy myself underwear and bras again. I could buy myself some dress. I could buy myself my closet again and my shoes. Or I can build a company. And I said, the bed can wait. The couch can wait. I'm going to put this few $1,000s into starting this.
Wow. Good for you.
And we were sleeping on the floor for a very long time.
Don't worry. We're used to sleeping on the floor.
But it felt like home. And that's how I started my part. I did my share with that money instead of buying the couch and the bed.
Wow.
I put that money. And in 3 months after we said yes to each other, me and my girlfriend, Ariana Stein, we had 3 board books out. And then before, like 6 months into the business, Target calls and they're like, we want these books. And we were at Target stores across the country before our 1-year anniversary.
That's insane.
And then after, it just like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I can't. I realized that the hardest part of the journey of starting a business is believing in yourself.
I always say that.
That's
like nobody believed in me when I was starting my lash. They were like, you can't make that much money with lashes. And I just believed in myself. And I always say, like, I think somebody asked me in this podcast something like, what's like the number one thing that you feel like limits people? And I think the number one thing that limits people is them not believing in yourself.
It's their own thoughts.
Yeah.
It's their own feeling that they don't belong in the room, that they're not smart enough, that they don't know. And I'm glad, that I didn't have a business background. It wasn't even in my vocabulary because, like, what I know now, I will probably, like, there's no way I will do that. Yeah. Because it is hard to have a business.
Yes. You never clock out.
There's
it's so much easier to work for somebody else.
Oh my God.
Because you clock in at 8 o'clock, you clock out at 3, and then you don't care.
You don't care. You're not thinking about anything else.
It's just, it never stops.
It never ends.
It never ends.
It's a 100-hour job a week.
Yes.
Or more.
Yeah.
It's all day, every day, 24 hours. When you're sleeping, you're dreaming about the job. You wake up in the middle of the night sweating because...
you have anxiety. Like, I've never suffered from anxiety until I started my own businesses. Then it's like anxiety left and right, overstimulated. Then you add kids in the mix and you're like, oh my God. Like,
you want to quit every day.
You're just like... I'm swimming. I'm trying to stay up, but it's like, it's a lot.
You have your highs, and then you have your lows, and then you have these little highs.
But then you have moments that feed you, that you're like, that like feed your soul, and you're like, this is why I'm doing this, and then you get thrown back in the deep water, and you're like, oh, what's happening? Like,
but it's part of the journey. But I'm so grateful, and I thank God every single day that that I get to do this. I can't explain how it happened. I really don't. I just feel like I was just meant to do this. Like, since this is my journey.
This was your path.
Yeah.
And what's meant for you will always be for you. I do have a few more questions with the book. So you getting into Target, obviously this is your first time dealing with a retail store, right? Mm-hmm. You handled all of this process by yourself, or did you bring people into the company?
No,
to help you navigate?
It was just Ariana and myself at the beginning.
Okay.
And then we brought in my brother to help us with shipping. Mm-hmm. And then we brought in someone to help us with operations, Cynthia. Mm-hmm. And it was really just us for the first few years, kind of trying to learn everything. Like everything that came to us was always a new experience. Yeah. Never done before. We were figuring it out as we went every single time. Mm-hmm. And that was always the thing. We'll just figure it out. Yeah. We'll figure it out. You know, like, oh, well, Target needs this amount of inventory. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It was always, we'll just figure it out. And that's the mentality that I feel is what keeps us moving forward, because you can easily just be like, I can't do this anymore. There's too much. I was, like, I can't anymore. But for me, it's like, we'll just figure it out.
Yeah.
And we now have a warehouse here in LA. Mm-hmm. We have a small team of incredible Latina women, editors who edit the books, marketing, events team. Like, it's just like we're Latina owned and operated. Oh my God, and then somewhere in between, we became community owned. We sold a portion of our company to our community when we were raising capital. We raised $2.5 million in 4 days.
That is so smart.
And we sold it to the community. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I think that's the future for us. Like I try to talk the talk.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't just be talking about, Latinos and we need more representation. It's not just about representation. It's about ownership as well.
Yeah.
For many years, we have not been in the rooms where these things are happening. Mm-hmm. The reality is, if you want to create generational wealth, is with ownership.
Yes, 100%.
And when we were looking at raising capital for our business, we looked at banks. Mm-hmm. And I realized many things. These banks, like, these loans can be predatory. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I don't have an uncle in the East Coast. I can't call him to write me a check for $1 million.
Yeah.
That I may or may not be able to pay him back. Mm-hmm. We were meeting with investors, and it just really felt like a lot of them just didn't understand what we're doing, our mission.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of investors are strictly just like numbers. So they just want to see the numbers, their return, here's your money. Like, there's not really like love or like intention or like, or like they don't understand the meaning of what it means to you and our community. So I think that's really...
Which, there's something for everyone at that. For that, it didn't feel right for us.
Yes.
And it also didn't feel right to just, again, not break the cycles that are keeping us down. So I'm like, what can I do to uplift my community, the same community that I've been working toward, like, and I'm committed to. And I was watching a show on Netflix, Club de Cuervos. I don't know if you're familiar with that show. I'll tell you quickly. That show is about a soccer team in Mexico whose owner dies. He leaves the team to his 2 siblings, and the whole season is about them just fighting, family drama.
Yeah.
And at the end, they realize that this team can't be the team that it is without the fans. And they decide to sell the team to the fans.
Oh, wow.
And I'm watching that episode, and I'm like, this is my sign from God.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is what I needed to see. And I Googled, is it possible to do?
You remind me of me. Like when I always feel like the signs are talking to me, and it's always. Like God, or like God placed this person, and I'm like, this is what I was waiting for. And then you act upon it. It's because a lot of it is intuition, and it's our gut, and like, deep down, like it was meant for you to open your investor pool to our own community.
Yeah, and we did that, and like, to me, like, I always feel like it's gonna happen because it's just the way. Like God will always give me he'll always answer my question. He'll always make everything clear for me. Like I'm not gonna stress out.
Yeah.
Like why? Let God handle it.
Yeah.
And he always does.
Yeah.
And I got that sign and we got to work. We raised $2.5 million in 4 days.
Wow.
And our community owns a big chunk of that.
That's amazing. Good for you.
Yeah.
And I know you also started a jewelry line.
I did. That was like my before the books, before Lil Libros, and I did that for a little bit. It was fun.
Do you have it?
I don't have it anymore. No, it was Mala by Patty Rodriguez, and it was an entry point to business that I didn't understand because I just did it for fun. But Rihanna was wearing it, Katy Perry, Taylor Swift.
Oh wow.
Demi Lovato, Becky G, Cheekies.
Oh my God, why did you close it?
Because I wanted to just focus 100% on Little Libros. But it was really fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I could bring it back.
Yeah, that's fun though. Always to like try something, and if it doesn't work, and
it was doing great actually.
Yeah.
But I was like, to me, my heart is always in storytelling.
Yeah.
But I love fashion, but I always feel like there's always like, to me, I'm just down for whatever.
Yeah. I'm like that too. My daughter wanted to start a clothing line. We started it. We did like a few drops, and then it was so much work that I was like, I can't compete with Zara. Like, I'm sorry. I love to shop. Like, I was like, well, just make one-off pieces for you, babe. Like, but
and
my
then you
daughter
can always go back.
But my daughter she's a hustler. So she's like, what happened to our clothing line? I want to make cute backpacks. I'm like, girl, I'm so busy right now, babe. But like, we will get back to it. But like, I love that. It never stops me, or like I never feel discouraged if I'm like, oh my God, this didn't pop off how I thought it was going to. Like, I'm like, it's fine. I understand business, and I understand that like a market might not be for everybody. Like when I got into the clothing line, I hadn't done my research. I didn't know like fast fashion or like competing with Zara and all these other people, and you're like, damn, how can I keep up? I'm a consumer of Zara. I'm shopping every week for my kid there. I'm like, it's okay, you guys can have it, like you can take it. But I love that you just try it. Whatever you want to try, you're like, I'm gonna try it, and if it works, it works.
If it works, it works. And if it connects, it connects. And I think it connects if you have if your heart's in the right place. And at that moment it connected.
Yeah.
And it had its time, and I closed it, and and I have beautiful memories.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot.
Yeah, I love that. Are you working on anything else right now?
Right now we are working on bringing our books into animation. I think after 10 years doing
that's amazing.
10 years, over 100 books that we've published. And I think the next step that just makes sense in this journey is animation, and how do we bring the stories
to
from
life,
these incredible characters that we've built, that we've created, to life, and just keep bringing our Latinidad in these stories. Like the last thing we had was Dora the Explorer, and we've not had anything like that since. And I feel like it's time. So we're looking at that right now. We're bringing some of those stories to life, and just see where it takes us. I'm just God's in the driver's seat. Like he the universe is driving, and I'm just in the passenger enjoying the ride. Yeah.
Well, enjoy the ride to success, babe, because you are definitely on that road. Before I let you go, we always like to drop a gem. Well, I asked my guests to drop a gem. Could be anything that you feel will resonate with anybody watching today's episode.
So after the house fire, I decided that I needed to build generational wealth. And I had to unlearn everything that I knew about money and my relationship with money. And I picked up a book just by accident, The Millionaire Mindset. And that book, I think, was pivotal in everything that has happened in the last 12 years of my life. It changed the way I see money. It changed the way I see the future, my goals. And it taught me how to live like a millionaire and think like a millionaire. And I think that's a book that everyone should read.
Everybody go buy that book
The
today.
Millionaire Mindset.
I'm buying that book today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed Patty Rodriguez as much as I did, and we'll see you next time. Against All Odds is a Hyphenate Media Group production in partnership with iHeart's My Cultura podcast network. For more of your favorite shows, visit the iHeart Radio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.